Hi again. I've sat here for a while deliberating over this one, and it's a question that Tim asked. Tim, after the last video, Tim was saying about what my thoughts would be on the saying about the longest journey is from the head to the heart. And the reason it's taken me a while to get this little clip going is because I wanted to come up with some clever answer, some new theory that I've been looking for ages. But I can't really find anything new. It's all been done before, it's all been said before. And then I was looking down, somebody gave me a notebook ages ago, and on the front of the notebook, I'm just reading it off here, it says, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, Leonardo da Vinci." And I thought, there you go, that's what I've got to talk about. That bit about the longest journey being from the head to the heart, the way I interpret that is, we've got all the information, but it's almost as if we keep hearing it here, the same stuff, all the self-help books, all the things people are talking about on YouTube, on here, all the same old stuff, but it's almost like we have to hear it again and again and again and again until it sinks into our heart, which is, for me, until we get the message. So, and the thing that seems to be missing for a lot of us is consistency. If you think about it, the way I look at our brains anyway, our minds, is that if you look at your mind like a computer, and that computer is on all of the time, you can't really switch it off. The closest you'll get are doing things like meditation, mindfulness, those type of things, but the computer's never off. Even when you're asleep, that computer's still going. One of the downside of that, in a way, is that means that computer is being programmed all of the time, constantly, from the time you're born. First of all, it'll be parents, teachers, brothers, sisters, friends, society, religion, politics. All of those things are programming you all of the time. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's come on. Hope you're okay, Sarah. All of those things are programming you all of the time. It's really hard to get away from. And if you don't believe that, just look at how much money is spent on advertising. I remember the old Coke versus Diet Pepsi ads, and they spent millions and millions of dollars, millions of pounds on it. They do that for a reason. Look at politics. There's a big debate at the moment. I try and avoid politics, but it's hard to sometimes. In America, did the Russians interfere with the elections? Brexit, all of those things, the massive debate is how these people got people's information and then used that information to almost convince them to vote a certain way. And unfortunately, guys, it's really sad, but that stuff's true. The good news is that if we know we're being programmed all of the time, we can do something about that, which is where the simplicity bit comes in. When I was in California for a couple of weeks, it wasn't until probably a day before we left that I watched the television. We turned the television on, and that was only to watch the England match, which some people might say is good or bad. I personally like sport, I like football. But, not seeing a newspaper, not hearing any news whatsoever for 16 days was brilliant. Turning my phone off for a few days at a time, brilliant. Who you surround yourself with. This is what I'm saying about the simplicity stuff. This is nothing new. Who you're listening to, what are you watching on TV? What are you listening to on the radio? What are you reading? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Who do you go to for advice? All of those type of things are programming your mind. So it's really, hi Bob. Bob from Australia's on. Hi Bob. All of those things are really important. So like I said, I was sitting here for ages thinking, how can I answer Tim? How can I give him some fancy technique? And I do know quite a few fancy techniques from studying this stuff. I think I was looking the other day, I qualified as a therapist about 15 years ago. So, and I've studied lots of different therapy, but I'm at a place at the moment where I don't believe there are any fancy techniques. It's just being consistent with the stuff that we do know and actually realising that this brain is being programmed all the time, and you can choose what programs to put in it. Because if you don't, there's a whole world out there that every single day is trying to put the programs into your mind. They're telling you what programs to run. And unfortunately, that's true. So we've got to start choosing our own programs and choose what we want to put in here, what we want to believe, because this is, you know, most people agree this is the most powerful computer in the world, but we're not using it. So, or most of us are not using it. So we need to start using it and realizing that, you know, that's why I entitled this little film clip, Who's in Control? You know, if you don't take control, somebody else will. And that's the message today. Thanks for everybody for coming on. Really appreciate your feedback. If anyone's got any comments, put them on here, and I'll do my best to answer all the things that I can. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.